Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ, and welcome back to the New Orleans Kings franchise. And look at this, Joe Musgrove on top of the AL, 18 wins. He is 18-1. Can you believe it? We finally maybe have an MVP on our team. Now, looking at just the leaders around the MLB, Carlos Santana leads the league in walks. That's pretty funny. Justin Thompson, he's actually tied for 5th in stolen bases. That's really surprising since he missed probably 2 months of the season with a broken leg. And Jay Cave is top 3 in home runs, having himself a career year. But the best part about it is look at that progression. Plus 10 in power versus left. That's amazing. As a lefty, that is really amazing. And he's hitting 283, career high in home runs by almost double, to be honest. He probably will double his home run total just from last year. Now, looking at our team, and I kind of look at the contracts that we have. We have a couple of guys that are going to be free agents. Carlos Santana is one of them. He is our highest paid guy on the team right now. But remember that he did get that exclusive tag, so he is getting about $18 million this year. Michael Brantley's getting 9.5. We decided to continue our contract with him and not trade him at the deadline. And then looking at Pablo Lopez, he's due as well. But I just look at other guys that we really have to build around here in the future. Teddy Palatitis is still cost controlled. Justin Thompson is. We have Alexander Crow, who's still a minor league player of ours. So I decide to go ahead and extend Yoan Moncada. I think this guy is going to be our cornerstone on offense at least, and he seems to be consistent with what we want to build. We want to build a good fielding infield, and I think that he is a guy that really can be that piece that we need for now and the future. So I'm going to extend him, give him a big contract. So really, going through the month of September, all we have to do is kind of beat up on these teams in our division, and that's what we get here in September, a lot of divisional games. So here we face the Oakland Athletics first in a critical situation, top 8, Jay Cave at the plate. I'm going to play this one because I want to get to 40 home runs with Jay Cave. I want to hit 1. But this game, he's a triple shy of the cycle. So can he get to that or hit a home run? I'll be even happier with that. Pitch over the middle. He swings. This one's a deep ball to center, and it looks like it's going to stay in the yard. And that one is just a pop-up to Jason Hayward deep in center field. But we do end up getting the win. I mean, our division right now, it looks like we are in control. We are winning games, not even being controlled by us, to be honest. Just the team building here that we are doing. And I kind of want this to have a sim feel while also having some user influence. I don't want to be like the guy that's just controlling everything. I don't want to play every single game. So that's why you see me going through these critical situations. I talk about it in other videos, and I want to get through seasons quickly, and I want to see how guys develop. So here we are versus the Angels, another opportunity for Jake Cave to hit that home run number 40. That one I thought was going to be it. That's a short field and right field. I was definitely aiming for that wall. So now with a 2-2 count, the at-bat continues, low pitch, and it's just going to be a ground ball to second. So it looks like Jay Cave will have to wait for home run number 40. And the Angels get the win, but this was a team that won the division last year. Doesn't look like they're going to this year, as they have Tanaka on the mound on that one, and he gets the win as well. So now we move towards the middle of September. It looks like both of our minor league teams do not make the playoffs, but we continue to win at the MLB level. Here we are in a 3-5 game, and I want to see what Justin Thompson can do at the plate because I want all of our young players to be hot going into the playoffs. That will help us immensely because it seems like we do have this division in the bag. So Thompson here with an opportunity to drive in at least one run here late in the game. Ground ball up the middle, and it's going to be picked up, thrown to first, and it's a double play. So Thompson hits into one that time, and we end up losing this game to the Angels once again, 3-5. And it looks like Musgrove got his second loss of the season. Pretty disappointing, but it's just 2 losses. I mean, man, that guy's having an amazing season. So let's see what Jeremy Pena can do. This episode is all about looking at the young guys, getting them hot before the playoffs. And here he is facing the Arizona Diamondbacks now. I almost said the Arizona Cardinals. And here he gets a hit to the left side. and that was actually going to be another cycle opportunity, and he gets a hit that time. He's 4 for 5. So now this one moves into extras. Let's see if he can be a walk-off hitter here at the plate. Pitch over the middle. It's driven deep to left field, and it's carrying, and it does not have enough. 6-6 here in the bottom of the 10th inning. Jeremy Pena had a chance to be the hero, but we actually do end up winning that game 7-6. It looks like whoever came up behind him must have got a base hit and drove in a run. We won this game 7-6, 16 hits, and they only had 6. That's amazing. So now we move into more critical situations here. And like I said, this episode's all about the young guys. Here's Corey Lee. Let's see if his bat can finally get hot. He's 3 for 3 in this game, facing Trevor Rosenthal. And that was a pitch right over the middle. He had a chance to walk it off, and instead it's a fly out to right. But at least he had 3 hits in this game. He's a guy that's struggling this season, and I want to see what he can do going into the playoffs, because if he doesn't perform, even though he's a high potential guy and actually a pretty high overall as a catcher, we might have to rethink the catcher position. Now, one more guy to check out, Jimmy Pelko. The lefty, the rookie lefty. I'm wondering if he will get Rookie of the Year. I'm not even sure, as here he is on the mound, and he pitches one across the middle of the plate here in the 9th inning. And it's driven over the wall in left field by Witt Jr., his 8th of the season. And that sucks. He could have went the distance having a complete game shutout. Instead, it's a home run. Now 4-1. So now we get into the meat of their lineup. 3-4-5 up. Here's Eloy Jimenez at the plate. It's just an easy ground ball up the middle. Looks like that was Scooter Gennett. He throws to Corey Lee, who's playing first base, getting a day off behind the plate. That brings up Jake Bauers to the plate. He's going to hit one to the right side, and it is snagged by Scooter. So now 2 outs, and let's see if we can get the final out here. Corey Ray, Brewers prospect in real life, and I believe he does play for the Royals now. I think he does. I'm not sure. I don't remember, but he gets a hit up the middle. And now, man on first base, we decide to go to the bullpen, warm up Alex Claudio, and let's see what Palco can do here. If he can get out of his game. Anderson Miller at the plate. And it's just a little soft ground ball back to him, thrown to first, 3 outs. What a season it's been. But I think that now it has come to an end here in season 4. It looks like this team is poised for a big playoff run. I think that we are really built on all sides of our organization right now. Maybe not the organization, but at least the MLB level. 100-win season we completed. 162, our first 100-win season here in this series, and it looks like we will be taking on the winner of the AL wild card. Now, looking at the other divisions across the MLB as we recap this season now, the Indians, no surprise here, make the playoffs, and they don't just make it, they're another 100-win team. But look who's behind them. The White Sox get 99 wins. That division, wow. Just imagine being one game that close, and it's 100-99. That is just insane. So now the White Sox, with a 99-win team in the wild card game, will play the Blue Jays. And I think we will play the winner of that game. In the NL Central, the Brewers take it. They win 101 games. The Dodgers win 99. The Cardinals win 90. They make the NL wild card game along with the Nationals. So Jay Cave does get to that elusive 40 home run season. Great feat by Jake Cave, and he actually finishes second in home runs behind Christian Yelich, who absolutely went nuts. I'm hoping that the Indians, we do not have to face them. I guess if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. But hey, if we don't have to face them, I won't be mad, because Christian Yelich went nuts this year. 54 home runs, 131 RBIs. Now, Joe Musgrove, if he's not the MVP, I will be upset. 22 wins, 2 losses. Oh, yeah, and on top of that, he has the lowest whip in the MLB. I mean, that is just crazy. He had an amazing season, and he just ends up being one of the best pitchers I've ever had on any team in any MLB The Show franchise. So looking at the AL MVP, Musgrove wasn't even considered. And matter of fact, he was second in the Cy Young. You want to talk about robbery? There is no way that Mike Clevenger wins this. 19-8, a higher ERA than Joe Musgrove. The only thing he did better was more strikeouts. That's it. His whip was 131. Joe Musgrove's was 102. He led the MLB. And he does not get an MVP or a Cy Young. If this doesn't fire up this team going into the playoffs, I don't know what will, because we just got robbed out of an MVP. Definitely a Cy Young, but I even think an MVP. Christian Yelich hit 54 home runs, but to go 22-2, that's just crazy good. Now, looking at the AL awards here, Silver Slugger actually goes to Carlos Santana. But look at this. He actually wins it over Luke Voit. But I guess he had more RBIs and more home runs, so I guess that kind of propelled him over. And then the Silver Slugger in the outfield, J.K. was runner-up for all three outfield positions, so he does not get an award there. That kind of sucks, because we just pretty much went this entire season dominating, and we didn't even get rewarded for it. I mean, Carlos Santana got an award, but I mean, even he wasn't even, an all-star. I would have thought that, a guy like maybe even Moncada would have won something, and he did not end up winning anything. So just looking at our stats here at the end of the season, Michael Brantley, I mean, he's going to be one of those free agents that maybe is underrated. Maybe I can bring him back on a cheaper deal. I'm definitely not paying him $9 million, especially after giving Moncada that deal. And then Scooter Gennett. I mean, this guy hit phenomenal, 320 in kind of a platoon role. He had more of an expanded role towards the end of the season as Nate Barron and also Yanni Hernandez kind of cooled off. I wanted to give Scooter some playing time. Now, Jake Cave, I mean, just look at this, man. I mean, this progression is crazy. 88 overall now, B potential. I'm glad I locked him up to a deal a couple of years ago, because it looks like now he would have been a lot more expensive to kind of retain him. So I'm glad we gave him the extension when we did. Now, Carlos Santana hit 298. He's going to definitely be a free agent. I don't know if I'm bringing him back, to be honest. I need to see the options, but I'm definitely not paying him a lot of money. Corey Dickerson, coming off of that injury, now he's hitting 289. He is healthy going into the playoffs. For the first time here in the series, we are 100% healthy going into the playoffs. I am excited for that. And we are loaded on offense. I mean, just look at our bats. Brantley, Gennett, Cave, Santana. I mean, Tapia. All these guys are hitting extremely well, and they're all hot going into the playoffs. This is a great sign for this team here this season. Now, Moncada hit 280, and I don't think it was a bad season. I mean, he only had 80 RBIs. I was expecting a 100 RBI season, but I got to say, like, if everybody continues to hit this well, he could be in for a monster playoff run. Now, Yanni Hernandez did decent, though. 266. That's not great, obviously, but it's not terrible. Looking at everybody else, though, Justin Thompson hit right below him at 255. He came off for an injury, so he kind of gets a pass from me a little bit. He has progressed, so he's still B potential, getting better. He was, tied for 5th in stolen bases. That's a pretty good feat, so that is definitely useful. And also, he's one of the best fielders in the league in center field. Reese McGuire did decent as a backup catcher, hit 248. He is likely going to be, a guy that we might consider getting rid of in the future. But right now, I think he is a good backup catcher. Now, Jeremy Pena cooled off in a big way. He hit 242. Remember, for the longest, he was hitting over 300, and he's definitely dipped that average. But the guy that had the worst season of anybody at the MLB level, Corey Lee, hit 223. I was expecting a big jump from him. I was expecting like a 285 season, even higher than that. It went down to 223. He's got to be better in the playoffs. Hopefully he corrects it there and does find his bat. Now, looking at innings pitched, I'm going to sort by that and just look at everybody. Jimmy Pelko, man, what a great season he had to me in his rookie year. 128 whip, had more wins than losses. Musgrove, just absolutely, he got gypped of an MVP and a Cy Young. I got to say that. Teddy Polititis, though, I mean, honestly, going into the playoffs, he's my number 2. He's been the most consistent. He has a lot of strikeouts. He has a low walk ratio. I mean, this guy is a pretty good pitcher, and I think that he might be the cornerstone as far as young guys go in the rotation. Now, Alex Wood had a decent season. I'm looking for him to have a good playoffs. Ryan Stanek had a great season. He was an all-star. Trevor Richards, a great spot starter, to be honest. After not even playing at the MLB level last season, we traded for him. Pablo Lopez, we'll see what he does. I'm going to move him down in the rotation. He won't be the number 2. I think that, like I said, Paulatitis is going to be the number 2 starter. Pablo Lopez, I don't know if I'm bringing him back next year, but he's going to be crucial in a playoff run. The guy that everybody wanted, Keenan Middleton, he had a pretty good year out of the bullpen, 79 strikeouts, 19 walks, and 88 innings pitched. Alex Claudio took a step back from last year. He was our best reliever last year, and now he came back to earth a little bit. Brad Hand, he was our closer this year once again. 7 blown saves, up from 5 a year ago, but he also had 7 more saves. So he had a 1.42 whip. I'm nervous about him being the closer going into the playoffs. And looking at the rest of the guys, Luke O'Connor and Orlando Reyes barely touched the mound at all. And Rowan Wick did decent. I'm going to be probably looking for a closing pitcher probably come next year. So just looking at the wild card game, it's going to be Toronto and Chicago, and Toronto takes it 7-1. Wow, imagine winning 99 games just to lose that wild card game. And just looking at who did well for the White Sox, nobody. Diaz had 2 hits, Aguilar had 2 hits, and Collins had 2 hits. But their main guys, Anderson, Mendick, Altuve, right in the middle of their lineup, did nothing. So that means we will face a star-studded Blue Jays team. This team is very, very good on offense. And you know they're led by Vladimir Guerrero Jr., but then looking at the rest of their positions, let's just go position by position. Gabriel Moreno is an A potential 22-year-old catcher. That's all I need to say right there. He is Corey Lee. He's pretty much a clone of Corey Lee, to be honest. Those two are probably one of the best young catchers in baseball. Corey Lee is definitely not living up to it, though. Now, maybe their best, or maybe their worst, I should say, positional player is Will Craig. And even him, he hit 251. That's not bad in the regular season. BGO is another young middle infielder at 27 years old, A potential, 86 overall. He hit 260 in the regular season. We all know who Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is. And then they have Sheldon Noose, who's backing him up. He's not bad either. But look at their middle infielder. I mean, they have Uriel and Bo Bichette. Both of them are young stars emerging. And just looking at just the rest of the positions, I mean, Hernandez is a good outfielder. He hits for power. And just looking at his ratings, I mean, look at him. I mean, he's 30 years old. I mean, this Blue Jays team is very good. I'm happy to see Randy Arozarena there as their starting center fielder. He only hit 238, but I'm glad to see him there getting the opportunity to play. I enjoyed our time with him when he was with us. And looking at the rotation, it's not bad. I mean, it's really, really good. They even have Zach Wheeler there at 32 years old. He's probably their second starter in the rotation. So next episode, we will start the postseason. I'm glad to get back there. Joe Musgrove versus Lucas Giolito. I can't believe I just botched that name. And this is going to be interesting. We have home field advantage. The 5 games set in the ALDS. This is going to be fun. Hit subscribe. Hit that like button. Stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.
I've been working hard for a minute. The ones who don't deserve it seem to be the ones that get it. The ones who speak the truth never get the recognition, but the ones that act foolish seem to get all the attention. It don't matter though. Yeah. Hey, it don't even matter though. Nope. Hey, it don't even matter.